Hello, YouTube. It's Saturday night. What the hell time is it? 9:11 p.m. Saturday, March 19th, 2022. I kind of was just planning on sleeping all night tonight, but I don't know. My sleep schedule is beyond whack at this point, and that could end up being super problematic for me because I absolutely have to get to Amazon on Sunday. I mean, not only is like all the shifts that I've been taking voluntary time off on messing me up financially, like just leaving me short on money, but with the iPhone being stolen from me early Friday morning, I don't have the Amazon A to Z app set up on my on this phone. I'm at this point like Obama phone number 3 has just out of desperation become my main phone, and I'm actually really impressed with the phone. I mean, it's nothing special at all. It's nothing to brag about, but it's not. Holy shit, if this was my only phone, I would be dying right now, which is kind of how I felt about the UMX and also the NUU. I mean, either of those, if they were the only device I had, I mean, let's face it, if it's the only device I had, I would tough it out and deal with it, but I would be also actively looking for something better. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm cut off from my main phone number, and that's problematic for authentication of many apps, I could probably make do with this phone for a while. But yeah, I do need to definitely get a grip on my getting access to my phone number back, and really haven't made any steps in that direction at all, other than as you saw in the last video, I was on my way to Bullock's, had a pretty good time at Bullock's, and a lot of people reach out to me while I was at the bar and just let me know that they love me and they care about me and they consider me family there, and if I'm struggling to ask for help, which is it's easy. It's an easy thing to say, but I don't. Where do I go with that, right? It's like I need rides all the time. Like everybody else is struggling dealing with their own rides and paying for gas right now. So whoa, just startled an urban bunny. So that's too much to ask, and I get it. And after that, I'd say my biggest problem, the thing that's fucking with my head the most these days, is there's the living situation with the girlfriend, which I'm jaywalking. I don't have time to wait for this light. I'm jaywalking, dude. What you gonna do? Hi, how you doing? Your brights don't mean shit to me, dude. Yeah, that's how much I care about cars at this point. Attempted vehicular manslaughter would probably fuck him up more than it would fuck me up at this point. Anyway, I swear to God, I'm not suicidal tonight. I'm just trying to live my life and not be in emotional pain. So yeah, I mean, the probably the thing that's causing me the most distress, even more so than my lack of a working vehicle, which, by the way, Rob didn't get fixed last week. Surprise, surprise. The girlfriend did say that she managed to get a hold of him, I think on Friday, asking about it, saying, hey, look, you've said next week more times than I could count, and it's been 6 fucking months, dude. Like, when can you give me a date? When will it be done? And she said Rob told him that when I was there with my mother last week, which was over a week ago. I forget what day of the week it was, but it feels like it was a week and a half ago. Very clearly told me next week. I had it ready next week. I offered to even give him more money because I got money. He's just like, no, it's just, I don't need any more money. I'll have it done next week. But he told Priscilla that by next week he means like the next week. So, but then when she pressed him for a date and couldn't give one. So, but honestly, like, that's not my biggest issue. My biggest issue is that I've got a girlfriend who's just messy to the point like that it makes my apartment a place I don't want to be, and just disappears, stays out all night long. God knows where with who. So I got home from Bullock's. Oh, I want to say about 3 p.m. today. Ish. I don't remember the exact time, but I got home around 3 p.m. and yeah, she still wasn't home yet. Kind of considered making a short video then. I was like, fuck it. Blah. Did too many goddamn videos today as it is. Nobody wants to watch all this shit. But I'm just trying to keep a record of my descent into madness. Yeah. So, farted around online and messaged a couple of friends and eventually managed to get myself to sleep. And she finally came home, showed up, I want to say about 6:45, 7-ish. And surprised me. She climbed into bed with me and started feeling me up and making out with me, and that was God was that needed and exciting, and yeah, just a tease. Just basically led me on. At one point, she's like, "Well, I gotta go to the bathroom," and then she went to the bathroom, and she didn't come back into the bedroom. After about 10 minutes of wondering why she didn't come back into the bedroom, I go out into the living room. And she's on her laptop on karaokeversion.com purchasing karaoke tracks to use at a show that's not mine. So basically providing music for a competitor's show at her expense when I'm still struggling at my expense to keep my music current. And granted, there hasn't been any updates to my my Songbook DB page. I think I'm just going to walk for a while. Hasn't been any updates to my Songbook DB page in a while. However, I did. I'm still getting songs. Granted, it's lately just been while I'm doing my show, but I'm constantly like harvesting stuff as it becomes available on YouTube, and granted, that's free. But I still am regularly making purchases from SBI Karaoke as well as Karaoke Version. And I did do a 5-song purchase during my last show on St. Patrick's Day. So, I mean, that's coming out of my money, and granted, I don't have to do that, but I'm going to do that. But to see her, after leading me on and making out with me for an hour, quite a while, and it did get pretty hot and heavy. And then leave me hanging. Say you're going to the bathroom, but then you don't come back to me. I find you buying music for my competition. I'm supposed to be happy about that? Nah. And I tried to take it in stride and just kind of flirt with her there and see if I could get her to come back, into the bedroom, or maybe get it on in the living room. And just not. Yeah. Anyway, at one point I went in and kind of cozied up behind her and and it was rubbing on her and grinding on her a little bit, and she's like, well, I'm going outside to smoke. I'm like, really? So you'd rather put a cigarette in your mouth than me? You know, I'm not a smoker, and I find smokers in general to be really disgusting. And, you know, it's nothing that's a big deal for me on a weekend fling, one night stand, FWB situation where I'm not living with you. But I would never marry a woman that smokes. Period. Full stop. And as our relationship got more serious, you know, like a decade ago or whatever, I told her that, you know, that was something that was, and she said she was going to quit. Yeah, it's been literally over a decade. She ain't quit. In fact, it seems like she smokes more now. And whoa, bicycle brigade. I was looking behind me to see if I could see the Route 29 bus, but I don't see it. I got so much on my head, I may as well just walk and talk at this point. I mean, I'm headed over to Hideaway. I'm trying to think how far it is. Hideaway is 32nd Street. I'm coming from 44th Street, so a mile and a half from 44th Street. 2 miles from Oak and 44th Street. I thought, when I rolled out of my apartment just now, I thought I was going to catch the 44 northbound. Like I didn't even check schedules. I just kind of zoomed out to see where the real tracking, you know, hey, what's close? And I saw 44 headed north at just a little bit south of Loop 202, and I really thought I should be able to walk to the bus stop there in front of the Dirty Drummer, the northbound 44 bus stop before it made it there. And yeah, I thought wrong. Got to see it drive across Oak Street as I was around where the drive, just right about to the driveway that gets all congested where people go in to the Costco gas. So, whatever. I mean, I was only going to ride that a half mile, and I've already long since walked farther than that. Yeah, at this point, I still have, a mile and a quarter I could do by bus. Nope, I passed the quarter-mile stop, so I could save a mile if I catch the bus at the next bus stop up here at 7-Eleven. Anyway, it's the whole, I don't know, it just became really clear that just, at this point, I'd just rather she stay gone than come in and be a full-on cock tease like that. Come in and get me all ready to go and excited. And mind you, it's been months, And then when I commented, about that, she's like, well, why don't you just handle that yourself? Really? I don't think she understands how much it upsets me. And when I tell her, like, somehow I'm the asshole. Yeah, when I was over at Bullock's today, I was actually just got breakfast. Just got there in time for a breakfast plate, and that was delicious. Love the breakfast there. And Romero was cooking, hands down my favorite cook there. He quit for a while, and definitely the breakfast went downhill. And like what he does on my breakfast is nothing particularly special, but like he just does it right. And what I get when he's there is scrambled eggs with cheese and onions, and he'll chop and saute the onions and grill them, whatever, and put them in, and it's freaking amazing. Like no $2 breakfast should be that good. I mean, shit, I'm at $2 in most places. I'm doing good to get a cinnamon roll. So yeah, that was nice. But yeah, as soon as I came in, Bree kind of pulled me aside and like motioned me to the back and then pulled me into the office. And I honestly thought she was going to chew me out. I thought I was going to catch some shit about how bad I freaked out when I left the bar and just how like just upset I was at the end of the night. And then, you know, God knows if she heard anything about me, you know, passing out in the parking lot and getting into it with the guy that sweeps the lot. But it was actually completely the other way around. She just brought me in. She's like, give me a hug. You need a hug more than anybody. And the thing with me is I'm just. I'm just kind of like mentally messed up enough that like hugs from people that I don't really feel comfortable hugging, just even somebody brushing against me like freaks me the hell out. Somebody standing too close to me freaks me the hell out. Like I gotta really. And I don't feel like I know Bree like that, so that was a little scary. And then, of course, add that to the fact that she's, you know, she's a woman that I find reasonably attractive, and yeah, you know, just. Yeah, this is you know, I'm a fucking loaded gun of sexual frustration, so that's not helping. But anyway, she just told me that, you know, just that concerned about me and other people are concerned, and just and that they really value me there as family. So that was something I needed to hear, because a lot of times I just feel like I'm just not even wanted there. And a lot of that stems from just how alone I am when I leave. Please don't pull in front of me, dude. Now, when I came out, one of the regulars there, usually just call him Boston. The guy's from Boston. He's got a strong Boston accent. He's about a decade older than me. And the last time I saw him, I hadn't seen him there in a while, and I was thinking that the last time I saw him, he was telling me about how he had a new girlfriend and the whole backstory on her, and that, you know, it sounded wonderful, because I'm aware he's been single for quite a while, and being single when you're over 50 is rough. And I like the thought of being a single at over 60 is not, you know, just not appealing either. And I mean, you know, it's one thing if you're, you know, filthy freaking rich, but I know he's not. I mean, he's working class. I don't know exactly what he does. I know he's told me before, I forget, but I mean, you know, he's blue collar job, same as I do, and you know, probably making just ballpark at $20 an hour ish, maybe less. And it's my understanding him and his daughter are sharing a 1-bedroom hotel room, just because it's so difficult to afford and get into an apartment here at the budget suites. Hey, there's a 29 eastbound. Not the bus I'm looking for. Shit, at this point I've walked so far, I may as well just keep on walking. Love that Arby's sign, but it kills me that the word beef is already burned out, because they just completely renovated that sign like 2 years ago. Put up a new style Arby's building, which is nice inside, although I do miss the old school style of Arby's architecture which used to be there. But Those signs when I lived in Denver were fairly common, because I think Arby's started in Denver, but it's the only one I've ever seen, and as far as I know, it's the only one in Phoenix. So kind of neat when they put the new building in that they kept and restored the sign. But man, I wish they could get whoever restored that sign to fix the little bit of neon that went out so quick. Anyway, never mind me. I can get distracted by the sign at the Arby's. Bullocks. Yeah, so I was chatting with. Usually when I sit and talk to Boston, we're mostly just talking about music. We're into a lot of the same music, especially when you get into classic rock type stuff. Anywhere from 60s rock up to 90s rock, and occasionally more recent things. And sometimes I'll turn them on to some stuff that is more current. Just within the last 20 years since he's kind of dropped off paying attention to new music. So that's always cool. And speaking of that, he actually surprised me. He went to the jukebox and played a whole bunch of Rolling Stones songs. And one of the ones that he played, and I didn't even get to enjoy the whole song because it started playing like right as I was heading out the building to catch my bus, was he played Doom and Gloom, which was a comeback single of sorts from the Stones. I think it came out probably about 7 years ago-ish. So it kind of surprised me that of all the of all the great classic songs that they had, that in the midst of that he would actually choose to pick a song that's nice scooter. It's always awesome to see somebody on an electric scooter. I got to get mine fixed. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of surprising to see that he would play something that was, even though it was Rolling Stones, like something within the last decade. And it was kind of neat, like hearing that song in the mix of all the other Stone stuff he played. It's one thing I dig about that song, Doom and Gloom, is it's just like, it sounds like classic Stones. They got it right on that one. Anyway, so yeah, talking about his girlfriend the last time I saw him, which has probably been a month and a half ago. And he was telling me about how it was a friend of his daughter's. And I think his daughter is like in her early 30s. Somewhere, daughter's in the 30s, I think, if memory serves. And, but this friend is an older friend, and she's like in her mid 40s. So I would consider that to be very age appropriate, for a guy that's in his early 60s. So anyway, apparently, like, he's known her as a friend of his daughter for quite some time, and they only recently kind of got romantically involved, and it just upset. And he said his daughter, they was kind of trying to keep it on the down low from his daughter, which, like, God, I couldn't hide something like that from my daughters. Just couldn't. But you're missing a headlight, dude. Anyway, but yeah, he said that she had that the new girlfriend had told him that his daughter had told her, "Hey, don't you sleep with my dad." So, which of course, pretty sure happened. Anyway, when I saw him today, I told him I didn't expect to see him anytime soon. I figured he'd be all busy with the new girlfriend, because that kind of sounded like what was up with him. And I hadn't seen him there in a while. I usually see him in the afternoon. He usually bounces before my show starts. But I usually always see him when I come in on Friday to work on music. And if I come in on another day, like for breakfast or hang out in the afternoon, whatever. So anyway, he said that it's kind of scooter again. Good times. He said that it just ended up not working out because of his daughter. That his daughter pretty much put pressure on her not to mess with her dad, which Yeah, I find that pretty sad, and I often wonder what would happen if I was in a similar situation with my older daughter. I mean, obviously, a situation with my younger daughter would be horribly inappropriate and upsetting. It would just be, disgusting because she's 12 and not a pedophile. But my older daughter's 19. Not that I'm trying to hook up with a 19-year-old, but she's got friends that are late 20s, early 30s, and I mean, yeah, you'd say it's a little young for me, but I would, I could see myself really happy with a woman who's 30-ish, and I could see that woman potentially being somebody that I meet through my older daughter. So I wonder, like, what would that situation be like? And I want to believe that not only would my older daughter be supportive of it, but probably kind of encourage it, because I know I've shared more of my frustration and depression with this situation and with her, with Priscilla, and she's just been pretty encouraging of, hey, just kick her out. I'm like, yeah, it's not that easy. That truck does not sound good. That doesn't sound good at all. Anyway, I like to think she'd be kind of supportive of that, just wanting to see me happy. But it's one thing to say that you do a certain thing if you think something would happen, and it's a whole other thing when it does happen, and the emotions or whatever that happen. So who knows? Anyway, I wasn't even going to talk about seeing Boston. That was kind of and it was kind of interesting. So while I was having the conversation with Boston, my daughter messaged me on Snapchat. And again, I've been getting quite a few of my things installed on this T-Mobile Obama phone. I don't like the way the Reddit app works, and that's not even an issue of it being an Obama phone. I think that's just the way the Android app is compared to the iOS app. And maybe I could configure it a little differently, but yeah, I've been farting around on Reddit with it. I'm probably nobody noticed that I was missing from Reddit whatsoever. And and it looks like the mods and fuck cars have adorned me with flair. I think that's what it's called, like a saying or something that's by your username when you post something. Because I went in and tried to put in my own user flair, and I didn't either. I saw an option where I could do it, but I couldn't make it work. So I just figured that's just how the iOS app was interpreting it being set to where I can't set it myself. But I noticed when I was posting on there today that it said, I think it said cars are killing machines or something like that, which, yeah, I much appreciate that, because, yeah, that's kind of largely how I feel about cars these days, especially the way so many of them just like nearly hit me as I'm just simply walking down the sidewalk or utilizing a crosswalk. Anyway, yeah, so she messaged me today and kind of threw me for a loop with what she was asking me about today. Said she's interested in purchasing acreage in rural Arizona. I'm not quite sure where that came from, but wow. And wanted to know if I would be down to go in with her on that. And I think she realized I don't have much in the way of money, but I'm fairly sure she's still got enough money for a down payment on a plot of land. I never did find out what the amount is. I genuinely don't want to know, but I do understand that there was a substantial amount of money that was given to her as a life insurance settlement when her mother died. So I would imagine she's got the means to actually purchase property, but the issue she's got is that she doesn't have as good a credit as I have, and I think at this point I actually have a more stable income on paper, which is odd because most of my life I've had like no visible income on paper. But I don't know, we just kind of discussed it today. So something to think about. She sent me an email with a bunch of specific links of properties that she's interested in. So probably look at those while I'm waiting to sing up here at Hideaway. And yeah, I'm almost to Hideaway, so I should probably wrap this up. Dang, 30. Actually, it's not too bad. It took 31 and a half minutes right now. Yeah, I guess what I say is about 2 miles. So, yeah, so not substantially farther than going to the post office, which is where I should have went today. I got 2 orders on eBay that need to go out, both of which are late. One of them's quite late. But yeah, I was having a hell of a time getting logged into my eBay account with the eBay app on this phone. But I did manage to get into there. It took me a few tries to get the password right. eBay's got this crazy thing on their password now on the mobile app, at least on the Android app. For me, with touchscreen, when it comes to putting in a password on any kind of touchscreen smartphone, mobile device type thing. By default, it's always going to have the letters start out where you can't see them. But when I'm using a touchscreen keyboard versus an actual real full-size tactile keyboard, half the time I'm not hitting the letter I'm trying to hit. I'm hitting the one adjacent to it. So I really need to be able to see what I'm typing as I type it. And the whole blink for a second and then disappear thing, yeah, my vision's not good enough to make that work. Neither is my short-term memory. So it's a real struggle for me putting in passwords on mobile devices, and I usually hit. There's usually on most things, not everything, but on most things there'll be a little like eyeball icon that you can hit, and then that'll make it to where you can type it and you can see it. And the one on the eBay app was driving me nuts, because it would do it, but then within a few seconds, it would disappear and turn into asterisks, and then everything would bunch up. So it was like the asterisks is all closer and stuff. Anyway, it took me quite a while to get logged into my eBay app, but I am, and I need to handle that tomorrow before I head out to Amazon. Oh, nice headlights, dude. Love that you're riding with no headlights at night. That's safe. Have fun with your killing machine. Anyway, I didn't tell Priscilla where I was going or what I was doing. I just, after basically two hours of cock tease followed by take care of that yourself. Yeah. I'm out to take care of it myself with some new help, hopefully. Anyway, thanks for coming with me on the walk. Sorry this was so incohesive, but it's time to rock.